Kol Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Rachachodash. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Good reading. So N.I.S.T. N.I.S.T means National Institute of Standards and Technology. Superconducting hardware could scale up brain-inspired computing. Scientists have long looked up to the brain as an inspiration for designing computing systems. Some researchers have recently gone even further by making computer hardware with a brain-like structure. These neuromorphic chips have already shown great promise, but they have used conventional digital electronics, limiting their complexity and speed. As the chips become larger and more complex, the signals between their individual components become backed up like cars on a gridlocked highway and reduce computation to a crawl. Now a team at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or N.I.S.T, has demonstrated a solution to these communication challenges that they may someday allow artificial neural systems, aka what do they call it? Trying to do it that newspeak, the C to the hip, the MOTB, if you would, to allow artificial neural systems to operate 100,000 times faster than the human brain. All right, so we're just gonna stop it right there because that's the main point. We know that this is just Esau's bullshit, a whole bunch of words, but we know that the Bible clearly says what's gonna happen. So the article's there if you wanna look it up. But we're gonna get Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all. All right, the he on a micro level is Esau, Edom, which is the biblical name of the so-called white man. In the grand scheme of things, the ultimate one causing all this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's why this news article is so important, because every so often Esau Edom, which is the biblical name of the so-called white man, he releases C-hip articles, but usually they get swept under the rug, but not this time. And we can also see that they have Edomite terms for it, like neural computing and bullshit like that. All right, and we know that if this is a public article, we already know that what Esau Edom actually has, which is the biblical name of the so-called white man, he already has the technology ready to go. The infrastructure just is we could see before our very eyes is being laid down. Remember when 5G was supposed to be this huge thing? Now we're in 6G. Like, it's happening. And the people of the world won't know what's going on until it's too late. But to those in the know, we're like modern day Noahs. We're building our ark. So when the flood hits, we're gonna be okay. Yahweh Shai Ratazah. The only way that's possible is if we're the elect. And his elder apostle Gabar of Great Millstone once said, he said, yo, like he didn't, I'm roughly paraphrasing what he said, but he's like, yo, I know I've been called, I'll know I've been chosen when I'm on that cherry getting crowned. Which is like, wow, that's the best attitude, I think. So anyways, yeah, so we're gonna go get The word mark. Because essentially what the scripture is basically saying, like, it doesn't matter what so-called class you are. If you're not the elect, you're gonna get chipped up. So we have Karachma.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
A stamp, or if you would, an electronic ul, an imprinted mark. All right, so in other words, this is the complete opposite of the Thawa, which we know that Thawa pertaining to Ezekiel is the mark of exemption. This is the wicked version of the Thawa. Because you know that Yahweh Bashar Messiah is likened unto a balanced scale of false scales, and abomination unto him. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of Esau, Edom. All right, so we'll continue on. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So in other words, you won't be able to operate in Esau society. But it really doesn't matter, because pertaining to Exodus 14 and 14, as well as other scriptures, ye shall hold your peace, and the Lord Yahweh shall fight for you. We also know in Isaiah 41 and 10, 41 and 14, fear not thou worm Jacob. Right, we know these scriptures, but there's a difference between knowing and believing and just knowing. Lord wills we're the elect because we know and believe. You can write a book on how many testimonies of how many instances Yahweh Bashar Messiah has helped you or saved you or all the above. But going back to this, the news article, looping it back, we can see that it's happening and we have to report on it. So we're going to get Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And Elder Apostle Tar of Great Millstone brought this out. Basically, it's cancer. That's what's going to be the sores. A form of cancer that has never been seen before. A very, very non-comparable but minor example would be if you have your phone too close to your ear, right? You should be using wired headphones if possible, and having your phone at a distance from your body. But nonetheless, you feel a sensation, a radiation sensation. If you were to use wireless headphones for a long time, like AirPods or whatever have you, right? You can feel the radioactivity, right? That's a very minor example. Even if you have an iWatch that has phone capabilities as well as that Bluetooth shit or whatever watch, right? If you wear it for a while, you'll I had one before I got rid of it, but I always felt uncomfortable with this shit. So I got rid of it, did my research. It's basically like having a phone strapped on your body, right? So now imagine you have a phone strapped inside your body. That's why you're going to be getting grievous sores, on top of the fact that you basically accepted Esau, Edom as your dad, for lack of better words. So you got to ask yourself, why the fuck would anybody want to take this? Well, guess what? They're going to be willed to, because you either have the mark of exemption, the Thawa pertaining to Ezekiel. In other words, you're the elect. I will save thee in the hour of thy temptation. What's that temptation? When you're at the chipping station, it'll just be put on your spirit to just say no and be willing to die. Now, if you don't have the mark of exemption, guess what? You're going to have the mark of the beast. And we just read what's going to happen to your ass. Grievous sores, and you're slated for destruction. So going back to this news article, this is good to see. Things are going exactly how they should be going, exactly how it's outlined in the Bible, exactly how Great Millstone has been saying for years. So with that, I hope y'all were edified. Shalom.